Have you ever felt like no one understands what God is doing in your life? It's like you want to express God's promises that He gave you. You want to share the journey that God is taking you on, but you can't because you feel like when you do, you're met with discouragement or doubt or people not getting it and telling you that you can't have this thing. If you've been feeling like this, it's important for you to understand that what you are going through is not a coincidence. I know it hurts, but you have to understand that God is calling you into a season where it's just going to be you and Him. And if you feel like this is a season that you are currently going through, then you are in the right place and this episode is for you. For some of you, God has been giving you instructions and calling you to do things that feel crazy, they feel scary, and it feels out of your norm. And in this season, you have been really excited about the journey that God has been taking you on. You've been real excited about the things that God's been showing you and promising to give you. And of course, you want to share those things with the people that you love the most. But you've realized that once you start sharing those things with people, they have not been supportive of your journey. And this could be very shocking for you because maybe in the past they have supported you. Maybe when you told them your wild, crazy theories, they were all on board. They were your ride or die. They were uplifting you. They were encouraging you. They were there for you every step of the way. But when it comes to this particular blessing and when it comes to this particular thing that you are doing, they are not giving you the reaction that you thought they would give you. And this hurts. And I know because this is something that I've been experiencing myself. God has been speaking some very bold and, crazy things to me. And the people who I can usually count on has had a different reaction this time around. Some people, they come out and they just say, you're crazy. You shouldn't be doing this. You should be focused on other things. Other people, you can tell by their body language that they're not interested in hearing about it. They roll their eyes. They get uncomfortable. They want to change the subject. And it's like shocking and it's hurtful because it's like, you were my faith partner. You were somebody I always went through journeys with. You were someone who always had my back. So why is it this time you're not being supportive of what God is telling me to do? And instead of me dwelling in this hurt that I'm feeling for, basically feeling like the people I love the most has abandoned me on my journey, I've been giving those feelings to God and, venting to Him about how I feel. And He showed me something that I want to share with you. If you are in a season where you feel like the people who you love the most, the people who you used to be able to count on is not being there for you on this journey, then I want you to start walking with the mindset of feeling like it is just me and God. In this season, it is not me, God, and my loved ones. In this season, it is not me, God, and my friends. In this season, it is simply just me and God. God has been showing me that He takes us through different seasons. And in those different seasons, He has different requirements. Some seasons He will send people and He will use people as vessels to help you in that area, to help prolong your journey forward, to help carry you when you feel like you can't carry yourself, to help be supportive and spark faith in you, telling you that you can do it. But in other seasons, He will isolate you. In other seasons, He will have it where there is no one for you to turn to. There is no one for you to vent to. There is no one for you to share your ideas with except for Him. And He wants you to understand that you are not in a season of support. You are in a season where it is just you and Him. When God was speaking this to me, He reminded me of a story that we talked about back in episode 202. In that episode, we read John chapter 5, verses 1-9. And I want to read it to you again because He gave me a different revelation of how this applies to your season of it being just you and Him. So if you want to follow along, the book is John chapter 5, verses 1-9. But it says, afterward, Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holidays. Inside the city, near the sheep gate, was the pool of Bethesda with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, or paralyzed, lay on the porches. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him and knew he had been ill for a long time, He asked him, "Would you like to get well?" "I can't, sir," the sick man said, "for I have no one to put me into the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me. Jesus told him, stand up, pick up your mat and walk. Instantly, the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. In this story, Jesus was giving this man a promise. He was giving this man a promise of healing, but the man did not believe that that promise was possible because he did not have anyone to pick him up and throw him into the water when it bubbled up. But if you notice, the way that Jesus went about healing this man had absolutely nothing to do with the resource that this man thought that he needed. This man thought that he needed people to receive his breakthrough. This man thought that he needed to be carried to receive his breakthrough. But Jesus healed him in a way that had nothing to do with the process that he thought he needed to go through. Now, I know you're probably like, what does this have to do with anything? We already talked about this story. Like, we already broke this down. The point I'm trying to make is that this man thought that his breakthrough depended on people, but Jesus showed him that his breakthrough only depended on him. A lot of us think the same way as this man. We think that we need people to carry us to our breakthrough. We need their support. We need their approval. We need their validation. We need their help. We need their guidance. We need their resources. And God is showing you that you are in a season where it is just you and him. You do not need this person's approval to get his breakthrough. Their rejection is not going to stop you from getting what he's bringing to you. These people aren't necessary in God's plan for your life. So you have to stop being so focused on who's there for you, who's supporting you, who likes God's plan that he gave you, and start focusing your attention on God, because God is saying these people that you think matter does not matter in this season. You are in the season where it is just me and you. It does not matter if they support you. It does not matter if they validate the plan. It does not matter if they understand the plan. It does not matter if they encourage you in this season. They do not matter. You are in a season where it is just me and you. You do not need these people along with me. You just need me. And God is saying, not only do you not need to be focused on the people supporting you, but you also need to stop focusing on the hurt you're feeling over them not supporting you. I know that this is easier said than done, but can I just try to change your perspective just for a moment? Okay. We're going to go back to the story of John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. And I highly recommend you listen to episode 202, because that's where we really broke down that episode, completely. And episode 202 was where we talked about trust God's plans over yours, right? And in that episode, we talked about how the man being healed by a person carrying him into the water when it bubbles up was the realistic and normal way of healing to come in his season. But Jesus healed him in a way that was not realistic. It was not average. It was not the normal way that everyone went about getting healing. So notice, Jesus took him down a different path, but Jesus also did not reveal that different path to everyone in the man's life. The only person who Jesus revealed this path to was the man when he called that man and gave him the instructions on how to be healed. So what does this have to do with you? The things that God is calling you to do goes against your norms. It goes against things that you were conditioned to believe. It goes against things that you were brought up and told that you could have. It goes down paths that you did not think were possible or realistic for you. God's plan feels scary. God's plan feels intimidating. God's plan feels impossible. And most importantly, God's plan feels different than anything that you are used to. But just like the man in John chapter 5, God did not give his vision for your life to the people around you. The only person that he revealed that vision to is you. So, once you walk into that thing and the people who you love the most do not support you, I understand it is so easy to get into the mindset of saying, screw them. I can't wait to get up on top because I'm a stun on them and they're a hater and this, that, and the third. Trust me, I felt those emotions when people were saying what they were saying to me. But When you look at things from the perspective of God did not give them the vision, sometimes you have to realize that their unsupport is not being a hater. Their unsupport is out of genuine concern over you. They were conditioned to believe the exact same things that you were conditioned to believe. The only difference between you and them is that God gave you faith. God gave you a vision. God showed you that you can have more. But in their head, you're taking a risk that's going to lead to failure. You're doing something that's going to hurt you in the long run. So when I speak to you from an unsupportive place over this breakthrough, or I speak to you from an unsupportive place over this promise, it's not because I'm hating on you. It's not because I see potential and I just don't want you to reach it. No, I'm concerned that you are going to ruin your life. I'm concerned that you're going to go through an obstacle. I'm concerned that you're going to fail, and I'm trying to help you prevent that. And even though this person is wrong, you have to understand that their unsupport is coming from a genuine place. It's coming from a place of concern. And I told you, I know it's easier said than done, but I did this. When God started revealing those bold, crazy promises to me, and I tried to share them with people who, always supported me, and they started speaking negativity into me, I got so angry. I literally cried. I cried to God in frustration. Like, I can't believe them. I can't believe they would say this. But once I sat back and I took in what they were saying, I realized they're not hating on me. They're genuinely concerned for me. Yes, they're wrong. Yes, I'm not going to give into what they're saying over what God told me. But when I look at the fact that God did not give them the vision, when I look at the fact that God did not reveal his journey for my life to them, I can understand why they would say that to me. They're not hating. And yes, it's hurtful, but you have to understand that they are coming from a genuine place. So don't waste your energy being hurt over them or trying to prove them wrong. You have to understand they aren't equipped to carry your vision because their mindset was not built to hold your faith. God is saying, in this season, do not focus on getting validation from the people around you. Do not focus on the hurt that you're feeling that they don't validate what you're doing. In this season, understand that it is just you and God, and you're going to have to walk like it's just you and God. And if you're wondering, how am I supposed to walk like it's just me and God? And how am I supposed to do that while understanding where the people I love the most is coming from? The first way to do this is by treating God's instructions, promises, and visions like they are sacred. Meaning you're not willing to share this with everyone. You're not willing to tell everyone what you have going on or what you're working on. And I don't want you to make the mistake of thinking that you have to cut your loved ones out of your life. God is not asking you to do that. All he's saying is when it comes to my plans, when it comes to what we're working on, you don't have to share those things with this person. You can still hang out with them and do the same things that you normally do, but don't tell them what you're working on behind the scenes. So if you and this person usually get together and you watch football on Sundays, watch football. You don't have to share that you're working on a business. You don't have to share that you're learning how to invest. You don't have to share that you've been going to marriage counseling, even though you're single, because you want to be a wife, right? You don't got to share those things. You can still operate in daily tasks with this person without revealing to them what you're working on behind the scenes. So treat your visions that God gave you as if they are sacred, and stop just being so willing to share those visions with everyone. Stop giving people the opportunity to shoot unbelief into you and to shoot your promises down by not even revealing to them what those promises are. The second thing that you want to do is you want to rely on God in this season. There is no way that you can be in a season where it is just you and God and you're not seeking God. So in this time, in this season, you want to get into your word. You want to pray more. You want to fast more. You want to actually spend time with God. You want to go to him to gain clarity. You want to go to him to gain a step-by-step instruction on how to operate and how to do the things that he's calling you to do, how to actually execute those things. Because guess what? If you're not spending time with God, and if God is not your source of who you get instructions from, your source of who's guiding you, even your source source of who you're venting to and who's helping you rationalize your feelings, rationalize your emotions, and see things from a different perspective so you can continue moving forward in a healthy way. If God is not your source, then guess what? You're not in a season where it's just you and God. You're in a season where it's just you. And you are not equipped enough to guide you to where you're trying to go. So if you want to be in a season where it's just you and God, you're going to have to start acting like it, and you're going to have to rely on God for everything. So let's bring this full circle. This season that you are in, where it is just you and God, is not a season of punishment. It's a season of preparation. God only isolates to insulate. He pulls you away from people who may mean well because he understands that they do not have the capability to carry the vision that he gave you. They might actually deter you unintentionally to a different path that he does not want you to go down, a different path that he does not have purposed in your life. So he has to isolate you and remove those voices from you so they do not deter what he is building in you. You have to learn how to stop seeking these people's support, how to stop seeking their validation, how to stop seeking their approval, and be okay with the only approval you having being God's. As long as you are focused on what this person thinks, as long as you are focused on how this person not thinking the way you want them to think is making you feel, you will not get to your breakthrough. God is saying, release the approval and support that you need from this person. Release the hurt that you are feeling over them not, approving and supporting you, and only focus on me. And so that is all that I have for you today. Before we go, I do have a weekly action step that I want to give you. I want you to journal what God is showing you, and I want you to pray over it like it's your lifeline. Keep it secret. Don't go to your mom. Don't go to your best friend. Don't go to your spouse. Act as if you are in a season where it is just you and God. But that is all that I have for you today. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you subscribe so that you get a notification every time a new episode is released. Also, leave a review and let me and others know how you enjoyed the show. And if you want to stay connected, follow me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Prospering with Christ. But that's all I have for you today, and I will see you next week.